Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and today I am sharing my top 10 favorite Star Wars characters. The Last Jedi is almost upon us, can you believe it? And in honor of the latest Star Wars film being released, I thought I would share my personal top 10 favorite characters in the Star Wars universe up to this point. So this list is just completely subjective, it's all just my own opinion, just the ones I connect with the most and consider my favorites. So without further ado, let's jump right in. It's hard not to love Han Solo. People may be shocked that he's this low on the list, but it's actually kind of shocking that he made the list at all, because that kind of like bravado, cocky, pretty boy character, the scoundrel, is not really a character type that I'm drawn to or that I typically like. But Harrison Ford and the scripts really just endear you to Han Solo. He is so charming, he is really funny, he's got the quips, and he is pretty badass. So it's hard not to like Han Solo. Palpatine, Sidious, the Sith Lord, call him what you'd like, but I'm calling him my 9th favorite character in the Star Wars universe. One thing I think that the prequels did very well is flesh out this mysterious, cloaked, all-powerful Sith Lord. And I actually think his rise into power was done very well. Ian McDiarmid is great in the role, both in the original trilogy and then of course in those prequels when he's really able to kind of shine. He's obviously one of the most powerful Force users in the galaxy. He is a striking figure, and again, for being someone who doesn't get a lot of screen time, especially in that original trilogy, who's just kind of like an overlord, just an overlaying threat, he really has some great character moments and character development. And that rise of power really worked for me and got him up to number 9. Our current protagonist, Miss Rey. I really enjoyed Rey in The Force Awakens. It's hard to place the characters that have only been in one film high on the list because we haven't gotten to really know them in comparison to some of the older characters that have been in 5 or 6 films at this point. But Rey instantly was just kind of an endearing character. Some people may think everything comes a little bit easy for her, but I see like a rags to riches story when I look at Rey. She is a kind heart, she is somebody who is coming into her own, and I cannot wait to see the direction they take her character moving forward. But for now, she stays at number 8. But one character introduced in The Force Awakens actually beats Miss Rey out, and that's BB-8. I have a particular love for cute little sassy things, and thus I love me some BB-8, and it is especially a feat because I didn't really like him from characters' design photos or pictures until I saw that little ball on the move. I just fell in love pretty quickly. He has an infectious personality. He's just adorable to look at. His little beeps are so fun. I'm always amazed with Star Wars, how they're able to turn inanimate objects or characters that don't even speak English that we can understand into warm, endearing, personality-filled characters that we care about. And that leads me to the top droid on my list, and that's R2-D2. So BB-8 already has a place special in my heart, but R2 is the OG, the original, cute little droid that beeps and bops and serves all that sass. And I think that's the one thing that R2 has over all the other droids, is he knows how to deliver real sass. His design, a little impractical, but he's still just as adorable. And I'm just so glad that R2 is back in action. In at number 5, we have yet another, a third character in a row in which I cannot understand. Chewbacca is just this loyal friend, this warm presence, this familiar presence, and a character that's just hard not to love. Plus, who doesn't want to speak Wookiee? I mean, come on now. And as you've seen with these last several characters in a row, I have a soft spot for the side characters, the lovable sidekicks who just kind of help out on the adventures. And although he's big and pretty intimidating, Chewbacca is still so adorable. He's great with that crossbow, and he's the ever-dependable friend that I hope we do not lose anytime soon. Plus, I'm super excited to see him form a new friendship with the little porgs since his friend is gone. Princess Leia, General Leia. How can you not love Leia? The capable, defiant, badass woman of Star Wars. Leia was an original, complex character, one that didn't have the, annoyances that Luke Skywalker had, but made her bravado seem even more endearing than Han Solo. She was capable, she was intelligent, and now she's a general. And of course, Carrie Fisher, iconic in the role. It's going to be difficult, actually, to sit through The Last Jedi seeing her. And yeah, it's just going to be a sad moment. But the character herself is just so awesome that she deserves whatever kind of send-off they're going to give her. In my opinion, the best movie villain of all time. Darth Vader. The voice, the just pure physical presence, the intimidation, the awesome armor and outfit, his strength, raw power. Darth Vader is amazing. He's one half of the most iconic reveals and twists of all time with Luke Skywalker. And in that original trilogy on its own, he gets one of the best redemptions ever. I just love Darth Vader. If we're lumping in Anakin pre-Vader, maybe he works his way down the list a little bit. But if we're doing Revenge of the Sith Anakin up through the Return of the Jedi, we're still good. Vader's still up here. But who doesn't love a villain? And when the villain is this iconic, how is he not in the top 3? The prequels get maligned quite a bit, but I think we can all agree that Ewan McGregor really gave it something when he played Obi-Wan Kenobi. One of the unifying factors of all Star Wars fans when it comes to the prequels is that Obi-Wan and Ewan McGregor did a great job. Really the true definition of a Jedi, in my opinion. Just pure good, pure light side. Obi-Wan was a wonderful mentor. I thought they did a great job of having us watch him evolve and grow as he was mentoring somebody else into evolving and growing. And I think the parallels between Anakin's fall to the dark side and the fact that Obi-Wan wasn't prepared for this were really striking, and actually a subtlety within those prequels. But even as old Ben, his presence was felt. And that's a huge thing with this character, is he dies in the very first Star Wars film, but he is an omnipresent being. A character that maintained in the franchise even after physically he had left. And I think that's a strong character in and of itself. In many ways, Obi-Wan is the heart of the entire Star Wars franchise up until Episode 7. So that is why he is all the way up at number 2. I love Obi-Wan. So before I reveal my number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Poe Dameron just barely misses this list. And honestly, once this current trilogy is over, I'm pretty sure he'll jump on it. The current badass sex symbol of the Star Wars universe. I'm excited to learn more about Poe Dameron and get some more time. It's that lack of screen time in The Force Awakens that kept him off. K2SO only had one movie to build a character that was memorable, and he was by far the most memorable character that came out of Rogue One in my book. He is third in the line of droids, but wow, he served up some amazing lines and created such an awesome character that I think we all wish we could have had a little bit more time with. Darth Maul has possibly the most awesome character design in the entirety of the Star Wars universe. Too bad Lucasfilm didn't know what to do with him and completely wasted what should have been one of the most iconic amazing villains, not only in Star Wars, but probably in film history. Instead, we're still given an iconic Star Wars villain, but one known for his striking look and his awesome fighting skills and lightsaber, and that potential we all saw and know they missed out on. Of course, Luke Skywalker is going to make it into the honorable mentions because, he is the original protagonist, and I think I like old Luke better already, even though he hasn't spoken a word, maybe that's why. But I do find Luke to be a little bit annoying and grating, and that's why he's not one of my favorite characters. And my final honorable mention goes to Padme Amidala's fashions. Poor Natalie Portman and the work she put into this film. But nobody can fault those costume designers, because Queen Amidala was serving looks. And even when she became senator, Amidala continued to serve up the fashions the galaxy needed. That's right, Yoda is my favorite character in Star Wars. I love this wise old little green Jedi. In the original series, he played such an important role, obviously, in creating Luke Skywalker and helping take down the Empire without ever having to leave his exiled planet of Dagobah. But I love his role in that original trilogy, such an unassuming, weird, kind of like kooky, crazy creature that turns out to be so powerful. And I know a lot of people have problems with Yoda's depiction in the prequels, but I actually loved Yoda's in the prequels. I loved getting to spend more time with him. I loved getting to see him in action. While sometimes ridiculous, it does kind of make sense that this small thing needs to use everything he has in his Force arsenal to take on beings like 3 times his size. And Yoda does represent like a certain kind of sadness with the prequels of being unable to see into what was happening and having that oversight. But it still doesn't negate the fact that he is like one of the most powerful Force users in Star Wars history. He is one of the most awesome, funny, fun, unique characters in the Star Wars universe. And I just love Yoda. Come on, just look at this little guy. What's not to love? Plus, he created the cultural phenomenon of Yoda speak. So, yeah, he's pretty iconic. So that is my personal list of my top 10 favorite Star Wars characters. Who are your favorite characters in the Star Wars universe? And are you excited to see The Last Jedi? Leave your list, your opinions on my list and these characters all in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!